Megaherzzz. You're listening to Megaherzzz on 4ZZZ.
You're listening to Megaherzzz on 4ZZZ. You're in the studio. Well, I'm in the studio and you're wherever you are and you're listening to me. And I'm Sarah. My pronouns are they, them. And I am in the studio with Sisi.
And my pronouns are she, her.
And we've got some special guests coming in. We, as always, are broadcasting from the unceded lands of the Turrbal and the Yagara people. And we would like to acknowledge that we stand with them in solidarity, and again, acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded. It's NAIDOC week.
Mm-hmm. It is, and the theme this year is the next generation: strength, vision, and legacy. Yes, so we were looking into some things that are happening this week. Let us know if you have anything you're going to and you'd like it plugged and talked about. There's lots going on in Brisbane. Musgrave
Park on Friday.
Yep. Family fun day. So much going on around the place, which is really important. I was looking into ways to respectfully celebrate NAIDOC week, and one of them suggested reading First Nations authors, and I have a really good suggestion to those of you out there. I borrowed it from the library, so free.
Love libraries.
So good. I'm rediscovering libraries, but Another Day in the Colony by Chelsea Watego is a fantastic read, so insightful, such hard work went into that, and it's a fantastic read, really good.
Can you tell us a bit about it? Like, where is it? What time period is it set? Is it fiction? Is it non-fiction?
It's fiction, which is real. Non-fiction is real.
Non-fiction is I know it seems a bit backwards. Yeah, fiction is a story, so like a made-up story,
so it's
which can be based on truth, but yeah.
Non-fiction, and she's from around this area, Brisbane, and just talking about her experiences of being a First Nations woman, and just a really insightful read, and I think that everyone should read it. It was fantastic. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for the recommendation, and thank you for the reminder that libraries are awesome places full of knowledge where you can go and, borrow these books for free.
Yes, absolutely.
And increase your brain space.
Yeah, absolutely. And
so look, feel free to text us in if you are doing something special for NAIDOC week and you'd like us to talk about it. We'd love to hear what you're doing. Come on down to the Family Fun Day on Friday at Musgrave Park and listen to some awesome music. Don't read good books, but also listen to fantastic music. So we are going to talk a bit about Glasdonbury, and starting off with Lorde. So you may or may not have heard that Lorde, the New Zealand singer Lorde, has released a new album, and the album is entitled Virgin, which is, we haven't seen an album title like that since Like a Virgin in the 80s with Madonna. So the internet is very abuzz and excited about this one. And the thing that they are most excited is an interesting term for it. A buzz about is the cover of the album. So if you have not seen the cover, it won't take you long because it's everywhere on the internet. But the cover is a pelvic X-ray of Lorde. So and in fact I've been trying to find anywhere to confirm that the actually is her X-ray and not somebody else's, but I believe it to be her X-ray. And so it's a full pelvis, full-size pelvis on the cover, and it is an X-ray, and you can see that she's wearing pants in the X-ray because you can see the zipper, the X-ray of the zipper and the buckle of those pants, and the fact that she has an IUD that is visible in the X-ray is of concern to some people. I don't know why it's of concern, but it is notable. It is notable to the internet that this is that somebody. And people are calling this photo X-rated. I mean, it's X-ray, you know. It's an X-ray.
What is X-rated about a pelvis?
It's a pelvis, and I mean, I find it fascinating though, because I mean, it shows nothing that you would be censured for, like that would be censored, and nothing that you would say was graphic, but it does seem to be quite intimate, very, very intimate, and people are finding that quite disturbing. I will say on the inside cover, there is I guess what you would say is a more graphic, I mean, because it has skin on it, but it is a photo of her wearing the special plastic pants that she had to wear to take the X-ray photo to have it show up properly with the zipper and things. So, and they're actually clear plastic pants. So you can see skin and you can see pubic hair in this. So technically you would say that's, I mean, you really can't see much of anything, but that may be considered more X-rated, I guess, than the. But it is the X-ray that is got people abuzz. And
well, this actually raises. This is off topic, but well, actually, no, it is on topic, because I have been seeing a lot on my Instagram recently about the rise of women going off birth control, which is absolutely, if you want to go off birth control, all power to you.
Choice
do
is
it.
choice. Yep.
It's your choice. But also, apparently, narratives around going off birth control rise when the far right is gaining power. So women going off their birth control, coinciding with, far right. And also in America, in a lot of the world, it's quite dangerous to not have access. Well, it's horrific to not have access to Plan B, to not have access to
absolutely. We're seeing some horrible stories for people who now that access to abortion care is limited, that there can be some deadly outcomes for women who are pregnant and either don't want to be pregnant or have medical complications that make it unhealthy, to make it risky for them.
Absolutely.
That they are being denied choice in that. So,
and I guess also Lorde is a very mainstream artist, so power to her. She has a very large American following, so I guess that it's not a controversial image at all. But in America, it might be.
I think you've really hit on something there. I think that the decision to do that and to show the IUD, I think is absolutely political and on purpose, and it's fascinating as well, and it starts conversations like these.
Absolutely.
So, and I wonder how many people have seen the inside of an AFAB, pelvis, and of course, they're not all the same. They're different, but how many? I wonder how many people have seen a X-ray of a pelvis with an IUD. I know that I'm very surprised to see that it's off centre. And for all I know, that's completely normal. I have no idea, but this is not something that I've had much access to. So so we were talking about this off air as well, that textbooks that we have seen with the perfect, that perfect flower shape of the womb and the ovaries. Maybe bodies aren't quite as neat as on the inside as they are in textbooks, and we see these very sanitized medical pictures a lot. So maybe we need to take a closer look at our insides.
Maybe we need to be educated better.
Maybe we do. And
and we're if you haven't heard about it yet, which I think a lot of people have, but it's been a very big week for protesting in the mainstream. Kneecap was cut off on their broadcast by the BBC on their Glastonbury set, which is not very surprising. It's happened before. Kneecap is an Irish band, so they have a strong understanding and personal understanding of colonialism and
so does the BBC, but from a very different perspective.
Yeah. And the funny thing was that they, in cutting their broadcast, in not allowing Kneecap to be broadcasted, they switched to Bob Vylan in their broadcast, which is a hilariously stupid move on BBC's part, because Bob Vylan is, of course, a very, very strong, outspoken band. The two of them are incredible. And they chanted death to the IDF with a massive crowd at Glastonbury.
Did they have anything left to cut to?
Yeah, literally. Imagine. And Kneecap are incredibly strong advocates for Palestine. So Bob Vylan, and there's so much media coverage about Glastonbury at the moment and how political it is, but it's known to be quite a political festival, and it's interesting to see how much those two artists are getting scapegoated. Like, I believe that Bob Vylan has been cut off. He's not allowed to perform in the US, or not been granted a visa, which is so much censorship. But a lot of other artists who weren't scapegoated, so many people showed their solidarity to Palestine and called out Israel, including Amel and the Sniffers and many, many other artists. But it does raise a really important discussion as well, that there is so much coverage on Bob Vylan, so much coverage on Glastonbury, all these people, all of these artists, when, of course, and this is what Bob Vylan said in a statement as well, the media has put so much energy into artists and none into what the artists are talking about, which is a genocide happening. And it's just so interesting to see the way that Western media is only focused on that. And you know,
I feel like, and I'm full disclosure, I'm 50 years old, so I've watched a lot of media in my time. I've watched a lot and seen a lot, and I cannot remember a time where people, mainstream people were facing such strong consequences for having political views, or for artists have always been political. It's not a new thing. I mean, when you said that they cut to Bob Vylan, I actually thought you said they cut to Bob Dylan, who was talking about this kind of thing in the 60s, and I'm like, wow, he's still talking about it. But that's it's not a new thing. It's people have always been political with music, but I feel like we're seeing unprecedented amounts of censorship and consequences. And for specific messages as well. We recently had the artist in Australia who her award was removed. Do you remember that one?
Yes, in Brisbane. Yeah, from the river to the sea, the instrumental piece. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
an instrumental piece. So I feel like this is having far-reaching consequences, and we're seeing a lot of it.
Kneecap is facing a terrorist charge.
That's huge. That is so huge. So
I think it's important that our eyes are on the problem, on the genocide. It's so easy to get caught up in media and pop culture when actually they're trying to bring light to the fact that people are dying, and that's what we should have our eyes on. We should be watching the news. We should be calling out. It's a genocide. So many hundreds of thousands of people have lost their life, and it needs to stop. And we have a clip of Amel and the Sniffers. Amy Taylor is so wonderful and outspoken and incredible. Here's a little clip from her.
I'm thinking about the people in Palestine. I'm thinking about, and all our governments, like we're from Australia, they ain't doing jack shit. I know girls ain't doing jack shit. And I think about schooling and I think about media, and I think we don't learn nothing about colonisation. We don't learn nothing about sexual education. We don't learn any of the right things. We don't see any of the right things in the media. And so, of course, most people don't know about this shit. And that's what's so fucked up, because they don't want us to know, and they want us to shut the fuck up. Because if we think about Palestine, then back home in Australia, we think about the Indigenous people there. And we think about the fact that us as whiteys, we're the fucking colonisers, and that's so disgusting, and it's so much to hold. But that's the truth, and I thought I'd share that today. It was going to be something way more poetic, but that's just what I said. It's not perfect, but I think it's better to say anything than say nothing at all right now. Because shit's going down and shit is fast, and mate, we got AI on the way. That's going to be even crazier. So buckle up, bitches. Shit's about to get weird.
You're listening to Megaherzzz on 4ZZZ. I'm in the studio. I'm Sarah. I'm in the studio with Sisi, and we have some special guests from Scrap Hauss. We have Anna and Alexis.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey. We're very excited to have you on the show today. Thank you so much for joining us. To start off, can you tell us what Scrap Hauss is?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just a little art collective, new and upcoming art collective, sort of fashion focused, born out of the necessity of
community.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And can you tell us about the event that's upcoming?
Yeah, so on the 12th of July, this Saturday, we're going to be hosting Open Home, which is at a beautiful little house in West End, an old house. And we've got about 18 artists coming. We've got some DJs, we've got a live band. Wow. So, yeah, it's going to be a whole event. And everything is getting raised for mutual aid with Gaza and First Nations.
Yeah. Can you tell us about that mutual aid? Who is it going to? Who's organising that mutual aid?
Yeah, so we got passed on this contact. They're called the MA group. Yeah.
Mutual Aid stands for.
Mm-hmm.
And they're quite a transparent group. And they fund a total of 6 families and some other causes. They just sort of iron out all the receipts and distribute evenly to these people.
Fantastic. So good. So, guys, can you tell us about why you wanted to form a sense of community? Why did you start this?
Yeah, well, I think I was fortunate enough to make some pretty cool friends in Amsterdam when I was living there last year, and they did a very similar thing, and I just realised that, oh my God, we can do this in Brisbane. Like, this is actually possible. And I think that there were always events in Brisbane, but they kind of seemed a bit exclusive, or they weren't really happening often enough. So, yeah, we felt quite a desire to get on board and have this sense of a community and be a part of it. And we've both got some beautiful friends around us that we just want to network with more, and we want to expand that and see how we can continue to support other creatives around Brisbane.
Can you tell us more about the event? And you mentioned that that there is a feeling of exclusivity to some of the other events. What makes this one different?
We've got some artists that have never done anything before, just people that have been interested. We do have some that have like a pretty
good following.
Yeah, good following too.
Yeah, shout out Big Shirt for jumping on board. But yeah, a lot of emerging artists that otherwise find it difficult to get their stuff out there, just because it is hard when you don't have kind of a backing behind you to promote yourself and your work, and this kind of gives you the opportunity to do so. Otherwise, it can be very intimidating approaching a venue being like, hi, we want to put this on, but we have no sort of following. We can't guarantee anything. And this is a really good way to network and like bounce around ideas with other artists.
Awesome. Well. So what kind of art can we look forward to seeing there?
Ooh, we've got
so much mixed media.
Multidisciplinary. We've got some video, audio stuff, animation. We've got textiles, sculpture, some metalwork, stained glass
work,
yeah, some really like amazing paintings coming through. Everyone's got a lot of different stuff going on, and a lot of the artists are actually challenging themselves to work in a new medium. They're a bit sick and tired of what they've done in the past. Some people are doing old works, they're revamping them. So yeah, there's a lot going on.
And you guys have a theme for the artists, hey?
Yeah. Open home.
Open home.
Yeah.
And so they've been given that brief and can interpret that however they like.
Yeah. Very openly.
Have you seen some unexpected interpretations of the theme?
100%. Yeah, we're really excited. We're still it's a week out, well, just less than a week, so we're still excited to see what the artists are going to bring together. But some of what they're bringing forward so far is really cool in how they're interpreting what home is for them. And
so I guess it's you find a sense of home, where you put your bags down and where your people are, but how you interpret that's very open-ended. Because we're both new to Brisbane. Not new, we moved here together around the same time in 2020, and recovering from COVID, where you didn't have this sense of community, or it didn't feel like a home for a very long time because of that big societal disruption. But home can mean a lot of different things in that sense. And you found a home overseas, and now you come back and the home is still here.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting ways also of nostalgia for people, but then creating homes now and how they're interpreting that of this current home rather than just nostalgic.
And it's really beautiful to have it in your home. And I do think that there's something very special about a Queenslander. I think that it is a bit of a tangent, but I think also a big backyard and a Queenslander is something that's very unique to us and a very nice, it brings people together to be in a big open house like that. And it's really nice that you can do that and you're willing to share your home.
So this is actually in the home where you reside.
Yeah.
This is in your home. Wow,
Yeah.
that's a really special thing.
Yeah.
So were you nervous about having it in your space?
A little bit, but I think we have such a beautiful community around us and so many people that just want it to be a good night that it feels like it will be good. And I think that
your house is like a revolving door anyway.
Yeah, the door is always open at our house.
Do you feel like you're having this massive rent inspection? When you
literally, well, that was the start of Open Home. We're is this a...
Everyone's going to be looking.
Yeah.
Project X.
That's a really open and vulnerable thing to do. It's fantastic.
Very grateful for my housemates to be so supportive of this as well.
They're getting involved as well. Some of the artworks are going to be from them.
Yeah. No, we're very lucky.
So this is a one night exhibition?
Yes.
And what night is that?
Saturday the 12th.
Saturday the 12th.
6 p.m.
6 p.m. Saturday the 12th. And is it open to everyone? Do you need tickets? How do we go about this?
It's open to everyone. We have tickets.
Available on Humanitix or on our Instagram, Scrap Hauss. Easy to find.
And Scrap Hauss is spelt SCRAPHAUSS, just for Hauss.
That's the one.
Yeah, and tickets are essential just because it is in a very vulnerable space of someone's home.
That's very fair.
Yeah, and wanting to keep it safe.
Yeah.
I think people would find that to be very fair.
Also, all the tickets, all the funds are going to mutual aid. We're not taking any of this. Every artist just wants to be a part of this community and doing something good. So
it starts donation based, so quite small donations.
Yeah, $2 are the entry.
Fantastic.
Okay.
Let's head to a song, and if you guys are happy, we'll chat a little bit more about it after this song.
Paradigm Shifts podcast is available online and via your favourite podcasting app, challenging the assumptions of our current society to investigate alternative ways of living for a world based on justice, solidarity and sustainability. Tune in to the Paradigm Shift podcast. Just search The Paradigm Shift for ZZZ.
You're listening to Megaherzzz and you are online on the radio. You're listening. We're in the studio. You're listening to us. I'm Sarah. I'm here with Sisi and Anna and Alexis, and they are from Scrap Hauss, and they are having an exhibition on the weekend, which sounds absolutely awesome, and you should get your tickets and go along. And what can people expect to see on the night when they go along to that?
They can expect to see one live band, Gashhound, and a couple of DJs going late into the night, as well as 18 artists covering all the disciplines. We've got some textile artists, some fashion designers, we've got some sculptural people. Who else? Who specifically?
Yeah, we've got so much happening. It's so exciting. I think that, first of all, DaDa Disco.
Woo, yes.
Joined by the famous.
Yeah.
It is really exciting as well to be able to display your own artwork and feel such a place of belonging in that and connecting to the artist through that.
This is your first time displaying, right?
Yeah.
Dusti by Lex?
Yeah.
Okay, so that was actually going to be a question of mine. Are you both artists?
Yeah.
Right, and you'll also be displaying your work?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Can you tell us what you're putting in? Or not?
Yeah,
Is it a
yeah,
surprise?
yeah.
Unless it's performance art and that's part of a big surprise and secret. But
No, that's the one thing we kind of don't have is performance art. But mine will be interactive. Just imagine the sounds of your home on a quiet night. Maybe the wind's rustling through. I do a lot of glass stuff and like kind of little sculptural things. But imagine like the glass is clinking in the wind.
Oh,
Yeah.
beautiful. And you?
So I'm fashion designer, textile focused, and I'm going to be doing a little felt piece and experimenting with embroidery and sewing on top of that, and I'm trying to replicate an image of my old childhood home, which is 3 generations, so it's quite a beautiful place to be able to show.
It is actually your house inspired my work as well, just from like the audio that kind of comes through in the ceilings.
Yeah, old creaky houses.
Yeah. Possums running on the roof.
Oh,
yes. Terrifying.
It's grief. We've got two video artists, like film artists come through, which will have some very intimate and profound kind of content that you can tune into in a very what's the word, direct way, just little headphones straight onto a screen.
So, yeah, you've got 18 artists that will be displaying their work, including 2 film artists. Can we talk about the logistics of how do you set all this up in a Queenslander, in the average home? How's that process been?
We're still figuring it out.
These guys looked mortified.
and this is a space where people are living right now as well. So you've got all of that part. You've got the day-to-day stuff as well as display places in situ as well. So
I love lists. Lists are great, and I think just like we're being really honest in our communication as well. We're probably bombarding the artists a bit too much maybe, but just like constantly telling people this is where we're at, this is what we're thinking.
Because you've got quite an interesting backyard. Like it's got sections, it's got walls, there's different...
There's a shed.
Yes, there's a water tank. Like there's a lot to navigate in terms of space, but we've got all hands on deck with like your housemates and friends, family and above chipping into this, which is another really great aspect of community, is that everyone wants to get on board. Like we've had volunteers kind of reach out and like just everyone's jumping in, and it's making it a lot lighter work than what we first anticipated.
Yeah, 100%. We've been so lucky with people wanting to jump on board. We didn't quite realise how much of a community people are desiring as well. Like this is definitely a need that, Brisbane is constantly trying to tap into, but hopefully we can,
Yeah, given that you've discovered that need and you've discovered that people are so open to that and wanting to be part of it and to help, are you going to be running more?
Absolutely.
Is it too early to ask that?
No, we're feeling so energetic. We have got so much energy from all of this that we will definitely be trying to organise more. Not sure if they'll all be at home, but we can...
I think they're going to mesh like art and fashion and like workshops and sort of facilitate more learning and more... I don't know, just different events in the future. It's kind of open at the moment to see what happens next.
Absolutely.
And so if artists do want to be involved, or other people in the community want to be involved in future events, how would you like them to go about that?
Yeah, definitely
hit us
follow
up.
this and see how it goes, but hit us up. We've already collected a few artists that are wanting to get involved that we haven't had the space for, but we'll definitely be reaching out to people again.
Yeah.
It's been interesting this time. We've curated it, like we've selected all these people, but it will be cool to get a broader range of people that we don't know.
Fantastic.
And so that would be follow you on your socials, Instagram.
Yeah.
The
Say that one
Instagram
again.
handle.
Scrap Hauss on Instagram.
Yeah.
HAUSS.
Yes. All right. Yeah, look that up and follow and reach out.
Absolutely. And one more time, can you just give a brief overview of what's happening this weekend and how people can get there and find out and what they're going to pay?
Yeah, of course. So on the 12th of July, we're going to be having an open home, an exhibition in the heart of West End. You can find this on Humanitics or on Instagram through Scrap Hauss, and anything else. We're displaying 18 artists.
All profits going to mutual aid.
And a band and DJs.
And band and DJs.
Entertainment, yes.
So good. Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming in, Anna and Alexis. You guys are amazing, doing such good work. Can't wait to be there. Come along.
Thanks for having us, guys.
Well, thanks for having us.
for coming in. I've been with Sarah and Sisi, and it's time for us to say goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening, and thanks again to Anna and Alexis from Scrap Hauss. Really appreciate them coming in.
Thanks for listening.
See you next week.
Isn't that what feminism is about?